What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here with Raiken Profit, one of the green room admins, coming to you guys with a live show. And in today's show, we're going to be discussing puzzles that sell on eBay for ridiculous profits from garage sales and thrift stores. And the reason why I put in the title garage sales and thrift stores is because most likely you're going to find these items from those sources. Now, you may be able to find them on Craigslist or OfferUp. Maybe you'll find them in a bin for free at a book sale. You know, maybe you'll find them at a flea market. Maybe a family member will give it to you. But from my experience over the last 3 years of being a reseller and buying and selling on platforms such as eBay, Amazon, and Craigslist, and sourcing from garage sales, thrift stores, in different locations like that, most of the times that I've found puzzles to resell on eBay or Amazon, it's been from a thrift store or a garage sale. So I just wanted to say that. Before we get into the show, I want to do a sound test. So let me make sure the sound is working properly. Bear with me for one moment. All right, it looks like the sound is working. I want to let you guys know that this show is live right now. So if you are on your desktop, you should be able to see the comment section with a bunch of people chit-chatting in there on the right-hand side of the screen. If you're on a cell phone or a iPad or something like that, you're probably going to see it down below or maybe on the right or the left side. So just be on the lookout for that. Looks like we got about 31 people watching live right now. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with me. And hopefully this video will serve you and help you to learn about at least a couple items that you didn't know about, or maybe just to open up your eyes to the opportunities when it comes to making money on eBay or Amazon. I want to mention Amazon as well. In terms of puzzles, I've made a lot of money in the past with puzzles. The best puzzles I found are the ones that are brand new in the package, but you can also sell them used. But it's going to take a little more work. You're going to have to make sure that it's 100% complete. You're going to have to make sure that everything's there and it's in good condition. So anyways, guys, this is the deal right now. Before we jump into it, I want to do two things. I want to mention to you how I'm going to go about doing this research so you can replicate it in the future and research puzzles or board games or clothing or other items on eBay as well. And also I'm going to shout out some people. So the first thing is, how am I doing this research? So you should be able to see my screen right now. We're on ebay.com. Pretty much what I did was I went to puzzles, typed that in, and on the left-hand side, you see me scrolling down. I typed in the price of 50, and then I left the second box blank. So anything you see right now is going to be something that is sold for $50 or more. Why did I do this? Because I only want to research the best-selling puzzles. You know, we could do research and we could study things that aren't selling for as much, but why do that? I want to go after the things that have really good margins, really good profits. So that's what we're going to be studying today. If you go down, I'm also going to click buy it now, just because I've found that in the past, this represents a more accurate number. Prices could be all over the place when you're doing auctions. So I'm going to put in buy it now. And also I am going to go down and click this button under show only sold listings to make sure that these items have actually sold. So we could research items that are actually selling, and US only, just to be able to keep the currency accurate so we know exact prices and whatnot. So bear with me for one moment and we're going to get started. All right. Who do we got in the comments section? Let's see. I want to let you guys know that I do have the comment section open on the right-hand side. So let's shout some people out and we're going to get started in a couple of minutes. The Random Video Maker says first. Good to see you here. Nathan Gomez, what's going on, Nathan? Time to learn. That's right. James Keene in the house. Steve Steele saying, hey, got on a live stream finally. Good to have you here. True North, what is going on? Welcome, welcome. Anthony, good to see you. Superior Home Arts, number 41. Anthony says, I hate counting puzzle pieces. Yeah, so that's one thing we're going to talk about before we get started as well. Jason T. Smith in the house. What's going on, Jason? Jason says, counting puzzle pieces doesn't do anything. Matthew says, from what I have learned, counting pieces doesn't matter. Sometimes a 1,000-piece puzzle might have 103 or 997. So I do want to say that I am not a puzzle expert. So I'd like you guys to elaborate on that so I could get a better understanding of what that means. It looks like Jason says a 1,000-piece puzzle can have 998 pieces, or it could have 107 pieces. It's not an exact number. That's interesting. I don't understand that fully. Maybe I'm getting mixed up with the terminology, but I appreciate that, and hopefully someone could elaborate on that a little more. But I see what you're saying, Jason. Texas Scout Treasures in the house saying I like selling sealed puzzles. So here it is, guys. Most of my experience with puzzles has come with brand new in the box puzzles. I typically sell a brand new in the box puzzle on Amazon. Why? Because I tend to get the most money on Amazon for puzzles. You can also sell them on eBay as well. But the reason why we're doing the research on eBay is because unfortunately Amazon doesn't show sold listings, so I can't really research products. Another thing I want to mention as well is sometimes these research videos, you've got to take them with a grain of salt. What I mean by that is, like, the odds of you finding that exact puzzle are probably slim. You might find a puzzle that we go over on this show, but the odds are pretty slim. The main point I want to get across is you can make money with puzzles. So keep your eye open for them, scan them, and research them. So with that being said, let's dive into the show. First item that has sold is a I don't know if it's pronounced Ravensburger or Ravensburger. I believe it's Ravensburger. So I apologize if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. But this is a 9,000 piece jigsaw puzzle that sold for $50.66. Let's open this up and take a look at what's going on. This is brand new. Looks like 2 of them sold. So it looks like they had a couple of them for sale. Seller was from Michigan, Hancock, Michigan. I'm going to just call it Ravensburgers. Got the perfect puzzle for you, from 300 piece puzzles to the world's largest 32,000 piece puzzle and everything in between. Ravensburger has something for everyone. Interesting. So I know from experience, and please guys, correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. If you guys know me well, you know that I typically don't pronounce the names correctly. So again, I apologize for that. But I know for a fact this brand does very, very well. I found that some of them don't do as well. Others do better than others. So what I would say is, before you buy a puzzle, if it's brand new, if you've got the Amazon seller app, if you're selling on Amazon, just scan it. Just pull out your phone, whether you're using the Amazon seller app or Scoutify or FBA Scan. These are all scanning applications. Just scan it and see what it's selling for. Let me see if I can pull up Amazon.com really quick. So let's type in Ravensburger puzzle. Raven, who knows? You're going to see that I've actually got an app. What's it called? A extension that shows me all the ranks. But you're going to see on Amazon when you're selling board games, excuse me, it's going to be coming up under the toys and games category. For me personally, in terms of the ranks that I like to focus on, anything under 100,000 is like really, really, really awesome. So if you're looking to sell these puzzles on Amazon, 100,000 and below is awesome. But I'll go up to 500,000 rank when it comes to toys and games. I mean, even up to $1 million, it really depends. It's not only the price and the margins that you want to take into consideration, but the rank, which is an indicator / snapshot in time of the last time it sold, how fast it sells. But you also want to open up the actual item. Sorry, why does that keep popping up? You want to actually open up the item and look at this right here. This is very, very important. Customer reviews. Even if an item's like an 800,000 or 900,000 rank, if I could get a puzzle brand new in the box for $5 and sell it for 80, even though the ranks maybe $1 million, I'm going to do it because it's the risk and reward. You know, you can play that game on 6 or 7 puzzles and be in it for 30, 6 puzzles at $5 a pop. You're in it for 30. If only one sells, you make your money back. So it's the risk and reward right there. Having a lot of customer reviews lets you know that people have purchased it in the past and it's a really good product. So yeah, people are mentioning the Amazon seller app. It's called Amazon Rank. What extension are you using to see rank? I forget off the top what it's called. I will get you guys that information shortly after the show. I'll put a link in the description as well. I'm just reading the comments real quick. So anyways, we'll be bouncing back and forth in terms of eBay and Amazon, but I just kind of wanted to break that down for you. Also, one thing to keep in mind as well, if you're selling used board games on Amazon, and again, don't quote me on this, but I believe the terms of services, if you're selling it on Amazon used, it has to go under collectible. I'm not 100% sure. What I'm trying to say is I'm not 100% sure if you sell a used item under collectible, if you're allowed to do that. That's always what I've done, but typically 95% of the time I'm selling puzzles brand new on Amazon just because I don't want to have to count all the pieces, and I don't know. It's just how I've done it in the past. So let me know in the comment section, guys, do you sell your used puzzles on Amazon under collectible? What are the actual terms of service for it? Raiken, do you have a lot of returns for missing pieces? Nate, typically, like I said, I do about 90% of my puzzles brand new on Amazon. And the 10% that I've sold used, I haven't had any problems, but I've taken my time to really go through the box and check out the contents to make sure everything is there. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's keep moving down the list and continue to look at some more puzzles. And again, guys, it's not about the specific puzzle. Like, I don't want you to come onto the show, whether you're watching on YouTube or you came from the Green Room email list. I don't want you coming here thinking like I have to find these specific puzzles. What I want you to do is just realize that there's money to be made in these puzzles. And when you go to a thrift store or a garage sale or a flea market or wherever, if you see one brand new in a box or something used in terms of these brands that we're talking about, just look it up. Just look it up. The more things you know about various items, the better chance you're going to have of succeeding. Here's a puzzle, Bits and Pieces, 1,500 piece puzzle, caddy puzzle table. So I'm not sure what this is. Looks like this is new. Wow, this looks pretty cool. Like opens up wide. That's interesting right here. So I'm not sure what is going on right here, but that sold for $54.99. Here's another one of those Ravens or Ravens. I want to know if it's Ravensburger or Ravensburger. Let's see. See if anybody corrected my pronunciations, because I know I could always count on you guys for that. Anyways, here's another one of that brand right there, sold for $80. Again, this is brand new. One thing I want you to realize is when it comes to puzzles, you're typically going to get a lot more money for a brand new in a box puzzle versus one that is used, right? So again, when I go into a thrift store, the first thing I do is I typically, depending on the thrift store layout, is I'll go past the book section, like at a Savers. I'll cross through the book section and go right over to the board game and puzzle section, because they're typically right next to each other. And I'll look for, like, the first thing I'm doing is I'm scanning all the way through, looking for the stretch wrap or the shrink wrap on that puzzle or board game, because that's going to be an indicator of something that's probably new unless it's been opened up. So here's another one that sold for $80 right here. Let's try to find some puzzles that are a little unorthodox. Here's one, Liberty Wooden Jigsaw Puzzle. So I want to see if I could figure out what the actual brand is so I can be on the lookout for it. Again, I'm not an expert when it comes to puzzles. I have sold quite a few in the past, but just realize you don't have to be an expert with a lot of various items nowadays. Since you have a smartphone at your disposal, the eBay app, the Amazon seller app, you don't have to be an expert, but having a little bit of knowledge is going to help you to move quicker and to be able to learn more and help others as well. So let's see what this brand is. This auction is for a wooden laser cut jigsaw puzzle made by Liberty Puzzles of Colorado. So that's what I was looking for. Liberty Puzzles of Colorado. Now that I see this one sold for some good money, what I want to do is I want to open up another tab, and I want to type in Liberty Puzzles of Colorado, because what I want to do and what I want to figure out is, does everything within the Liberty Wooden puzzles of the Liberty Puzzles of Colorado brand do well? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. So I type that in. I'm going to hit sold. I'm going to hit US only, and let's take a look to see if this is a little jackpot right here. Here's another Liberty Wooden jigsaw puzzle, $91. Here's another one, $91. Here's another one, $127. So again, guys, we just learned something huge right now. We learned that this brand that's called Liberty Puzzles of Colorado is typically doing pretty well. Now, I don't know if this is brand new or used. Let's open this up. This is used, $127.50, guys. That's pretty cool right there. So we just learned about a new brand within the puzzles that does pretty well. I'm reading the description right now to see if there's anything. This puzzle retails for $155. Matt is saying, and those are open and put together puzzles. So again, guys, I want you to do your own research. I'm not sure if these are selling for more because they are put together. Let's take a look at some of the pictures to see what's going on here, guys. This is a learning experience for both of us, right? So don't think that, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you want to take the information and try to clarify this as best as possible. That's pretty much what I'm doing. So, one thing I've learned about selling on eBay and Amazon is nothing is what it like seems. Like you look at something and it's not always what you think it is. Like some people look at a piece of clothing and they're like, "Oh, all Ralph Lauren items do well." Well, not exactly. There's different models, there's different colors, there's different sizes, there's different materials. And, with each item, there's factors to take in mind and take into consideration. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, guys, we're learning together. So try to put the pieces of the puzzle together, no pun intended. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Here's another one, 92. Um, so I see complete. So I'm not sure if they put it all together or they mean all the puzzles are there. The pieces of the puzzles are there. That's what I'm assuming. But look at this, guys. These things are going for crazy. Uh, Someone is saying, I'm going to just call you YA. How do you know if an item would sell well on eBay without Amazon seller seeing the ranks? So how do you know if an item would sell well on eBay without Amazon seller ranks? So here's the difference, guys. With Amazon, you can tell that it's selling well based on the rank, right? So what this person's asking is, how do you know if an item is selling well on eBay? Well, just like this, the completed listing. So say you found a Liberty Puzzles of Colorado at a thrift store and you didn't know if it was selling well. What I would do is I would go into the app, I would hit sold listings, I would put in the phrase Liberty Puzzles of Colorado, and I would look to see what the items are selling for and also the dates. So for example, this one sold May 8th, April 27th, June 19th, May 29th. So I see that these things are selling consistently, and that's key. So you want to look for consistency of sales, and you want to look for the prices that it's sold for, right? So like right here, if I was to find this specific item at a thrift store and say it was $20 or $15, which you know what, it would probably be way less. It would probably be like $5. I would type it into eBay. I would look for the exact one, and then I would see how many of those have sold. Now, I would probably pay up to $25 for this if it was complete, maybe a little more because these things are consistently selling for 90 to 100. But that's pretty much what I do. Just look up the sold listings and get a feel for what the items are selling for. So that was definitely a cool little find right there. What's the most expensive puzzle you've sold on eBay? Actually, I don't know if it was eBay or Amazon, but I'm going to show you guys a puzzle. I don't know the specific one. Um, I think it was. I think this was it. Um, Here's one. I've sold one of these before. I don't know if it was the New York version, but it was a really big Puzz 3D puzzle. These things are freaking ridiculous. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's type in Puzz 3D puzzles, and you'll see firsthand what I'm talking about here, guys. These things are massive. Some of them are bigger than others, but this is a very, very good brand right here. If you find the ones that are themed, they tend to do a little bit better. I mean, here's a Star Wars one. I mean, imagine finding this brand new in a thrift store for $5. Right now, you can sell these on FBA for $80, $89. That New York one that I just showed you. I don't know if that was the one. This was probably a couple of years ago. This one right here, guys. 293,000 rank in toys and games on Amazon, which is an excellent rank. I'd guess that this is probably selling maybe once a month, maybe more than that. There's no real way to tell. But check this out. Puzz 3D New York, 3,141 pieces. Check this out, guys. If you found this for, let's just say you found it for $25, brand new sealed at a thrift store, which is a price that you probably would see. I don't think it would be $5 or $10 because the thing's massive. But imagine finding this, guys, at a thrift store for $25. $349. The second one's $549. The third one's $838.75. So let's type in a website called camel.com. This is a cool website that's going to give you price history. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this offer. We're going to scan all the way down to the bottom. Here you're going to see product information. You're going to see the dimensions. You're going to see this thing is massive, the weight, and the ASIN number, which is a number that is associated with the item. We're going to copy that ASIN number. We're going to go over to camel.com. Right here, this is free, just so you guys know. We're going to type that in. And we're going to be able to see the price history of this thing if it shows us. So here's the price history of this item. On the right-hand side, you're going to be able to see the price type. Price is based on Amazon, which there's no data, so I don't think Amazon's ever been on this listing. You're going to see price history for third-party people like you and I knew, and third-party people like you and I used. So let's forget used right now. But check this out, guys. This is from 2010 all the way up to 2016. Let's just break it down to the last year to make this relevant. Over the last year, this thing has been priced at one point, it looks like it was around 200. Then it was around 340. Around October, it looks like it dropped back down. You see right here, guys, December, you see how it shot up from 260 to 420. Do you know why? Right before Christmas time, people were buying their Christmas gifts. Then from, it looks like all the way until about February, it remained the same price. So I don't know if it didn't sell or what. This doesn't show you, this isn't like sold listings from my understanding. This is just the price history. So if I was to price it at $1,000, it would shoot up, but it doesn't mean it's sold for that. I may be wrong, but that's kind of how I look at it. But look, I mean, it was steady around 400, slowly came back down. And then in the summer months, it dropped back down to around 200. So, I mean, I could confidently say if I was to pick this item up right here, if I was to pick this up right now, it's priced at around 350. That's a fair price to put it at, around $350, $400. If it was closer to Christmas time, I'd price it probably at like 450, 500 and see what happens. But even used under collectible right now, acceptable condition. Here's one. Counted 3,115 pieces, approximately 26 pieces may be missing, $122.63. So that's definitely pretty cool right there. Steven says in Star Destroyer 2, now that I think of it, we should have kept all our toys unopened. Let's see, I'm just looking at the comments section. Steven says, funny, I just sold my first puzzle via Amazon yesterday for $30, $2 buy cost. Exactly, guys. There's a lot of opportunities when it comes to puzzles. So real quick, guys, we've been on this show for about 20 something minutes. I want to ask you guys for a favor. Make sure to smash that like button. We've got 97 people watching live. So again, if this is your first time watching right now, my name is Steve Raiken. I am one of the owners / admins of the Green Room at greenroomuniversity.com, which is our membership site with almost 700 people. Also, I run the YouTube channel, Raiken Profit, RaikenProfit.com. So be sure to smash that like button. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me for sure. Tawny, what's going on? Dawn Stone says, would you stay away from something if it sells well, but there is a lot listed, or maybe wait to list at a later time? To me, the competition doesn't really matter when it comes to Amazon. Like I said before, the things that I'd be looking for if I was selling on Amazon, and let me go back to the product information, is I'd be looking at the customer reviews. So there's not a ton of customer reviews on this. I just know from experience that this sells well and from watching other people's YouTube videos. But look at the customer reviews, but also look at the rank. The rank is very important. You know, I don't care if there's 40 or 50 sellers, if the rank is, you know, under 500,000. It just doesn't really matter to me. You want to look at the star rating, and you just want to see where the price is as well. One thing to take in mind when you're selling on Amazon, the more sellers that are on a listing, the better chance that you have of price drops. And what I mean by that is people that, you know, they get antsy, they don't want to wait it out, and the price starts dropping and people are chasing. It's the race to the bottom. So with more sellers, the price could be a little more volatile. So just take that into consideration. So make sure your margins are there. But if it's a good product, good reviews, good rank, you know, the item's complete, I would stick it out for sure. So with that being said, let's continue moving down the list and see if we could find some more puzzles that are selling well. Here's a puzzle that sold. This is brand new, the Talking Jigsaw Puzzle from 1991. And this brings up a really good point. If you can find a puzzle that's old And what I mean by old is, I guess, anything that's before 2000, if it's brand new, there's a good chance that it's going to be worth really good money. Like, for example, this right here. The odds of you finding it are probably 1 out of a million, maybe less than that. I don't know. But the odds of you finding this exact one are going to be pretty hard. But the thing is, look at it. It's an old, weird looking puzzle. I mean, look at this. The talking jigsaw puzzle. The fitness center assembled incorrectly. So here's how it works. The puzzle talks through the conversations of the character printed on each piece. First, assemble the interchangeable scenes, then follow the clues to complete the puzzle. So this is just weird. It looks old. It doesn't look like something that was released in 2005, 2010. And literally what I would do is I would just scan it. Now, let's see the back of the box. You see this right here in the corner, guys, for anyone who's brand spanking new? You see that in the bottom right hand corner? That's the barcode 029546. What you want to do is scan it. So if you sell on eBay, go into the eBay listings. There's a little thing in the corner that'll allow you to scan a barcode. Scan that or type it in. If you've got the Amazon seller app and you're planning to sell this on Amazon, scan it in as well. And again, take a look at what the prices are selling for. But I know for a fact that if I saw anything like this, I would definitely scan it in. Looks like we got the bona fide hustler in the house saying a bod damn puzzle. Chris, are you sure you didn't create that puzzle? I know you're pretty big into fitness. Um, let's see. I'm taking a look at the comments section. Angela, good to see ya. Thanks for coming in. Swamp Picker, what's going on, Glenn? So Swamp Picker is actually Glenn. He's a green room member, and he was at the Austin, Texas meetup, and we went hustling at a bunch of stores. So thanks for coming in, Glenn. I believe he's from Louisiana, so that's pretty cool right there. Awesome. So we got 96 people watching live right now. So again, thank you for watching. This is awesome. I didn't expect to have so many people watching live right now. Smash that like button. Show some love. If you're in the green room, what's going on? Good to see you guys here. Diana says, just tuned in from the UK. Isn't that awesome, guys, that we can all connect from the USA to the UK? We gonna make some profits today. All right, guys. Here's another question or a statement. If you have a vintage puzzle new and you scan for Amazon and there's no listings, do you create a listing? That's up to you. I don't create listings on Amazon. I just don't. I just piggyback on other people's listings. So if it wasn't on Amazon, this is just what I would do. I would probably sell it on eBay. Now, if you're into that, creating your own listings, and you can take really good pictures and you have the knowledge to do so and the time to do so, then I would create a listing. But to be honest, the reason why I wouldn't create a listing is because it's a one-off item. You're probably never going to find that item again, especially if it's like a fitness center talking jigsaw puzzle. Why take the time to create the listing when you could just put it on eBay and probably get just as much money? Maybe you get $5-10 less, maybe you get $5 or $10 more, who knows? Picking for Profit, make sure to watch my video. It is uploading right now. We'll be sure to do that. Picking for Profit, thank you. You're a god, bro. Thanks for the vids. I'm not a god, but I appreciate that. All right, let's keep moving down the list. Mega Puzzles Disney Princess Jigsaw Puzzle. So I don't know if Mega Puzzles, if that's the brand or not. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on right here. Again, guys, I don't want you coming into this show thinking I've got to find these exact puzzles, because the odds are you're not. I want you to really just open up your eyes to the opportunities and to the various brands that are doing well. So I'm going to try to figure out what's going on right here. Up for auction is a jigsaw puzzle by Mega Puzzles. So I just learned that Mega Puzzles is the brand. Features the artwork of Disney, specifically Disney Princess related. So what I'm going to do right now, because this puzzle is really irrelevant to me, what I want to do is I want to take this brand right here, Mega Puzzles. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the Liberty Puzzles of Colorado. I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to hit sold, and I want to see what is coming up right here. Let's type in, actually, I'm going to keep it like that. Mega Puzzles. So it looks like a whole bunch of different things are popping up. $10. There's that one for 75. Doesn't look like it's anything super impressive, nothing super rare. It looks like there's a lot of low end ones as well. So I'm just going to ignore this one. Okay, let's go back into the eBay sold listings. Here's one more thing I want to do. Let's just type in puzzles into Amazon. Let's type in puzzles for adults and see what the top searches are. And also I want to type in 50 and above. Let's see what pops up. So here's that brand again, guys. I think we actually saw this one that sold earlier on eBay. As you can see, this is like the top brand right here. Ravensburger, 74,000 rank. Here's that bits and pieces again. Remember we saw this on eBay? It looks like they're selling it on Amazon as well for $59.98. So that's pretty cool. One thing I want you guys to take into consideration as well is with certain items, they may be restricted on Amazon. So I know a lot of Star Wars stuff is restricted. When you sell on eBay, I don't know if there's such thing as restricted on eBay. So if Jason T. Smith is still in the house, Bonafide, maybe you can answer this as well. Are there certain items on eBay that are restricted? I'd be curious to know. I know obviously like, anything that has to do with violence, certain, like you can't sell like guns and stuff or like pornography stuff or, crazy stuff like that. I know there's restrictions like that, but are there certain brands that are restricted? That's what I'd be curious to know right now. Steve, did you know that you can add the camo and Keeple extensions to Chrome and they will show up on your Amazon pages so you don't have to switch back and forth? Thank you. I've actually been meaning to do that for the longest time and I keep forgetting. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for all your help, Mandy. You are welcome. I'm here to help. I have a lot of fun learning with you guys as well. But check this out right here, Star Wars: The Legacy. I've found that with puzzles, if it's themed with something popular, maybe like a Major League Baseball team or like a show or like a movie or like Star Wars, it tends to do better than other unthemed items. So that's just one thing that I've noticed as well. Let's go back into the puzzles. Here's something new. MC, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. 3,000 piece puzzle. $199. Holy moly. Let's copy this. Let's go into Amazon. I want to see if it's selling on Amazon for more or less. So here you go, right on Amazon right now. $229. Let's see. Yes, FBA is selling for $229. So that's pretty cool because on eBay that sold for $199. So one thing I found is you could typically get more on Amazon. The thing is on Amazon, it's so much easier to get returns versus eBay. That's just one thing I've noticed. Now I have noticed you can get more money, but it's so easy for people to return things on Amazon. Again, my return rate for electronics is probably somewhere between, I don't know, 3 to 7%, depending on the type of item. For items like board games and puzzles, it's typically under 3%. So just keep that in mind right there. I mean, here's a Milton Bradley puzzle that sold for $89.92. Let's take that and let's see. Go to Milton Bradley. Let's do something crazy right now. We're going to type in Milton Bradley puzzles. We're going to type in sold, and this is something crazy we're going to do. We're going to type in highest first. So I want to see the highest Milton Bradley puzzles that are selling. So this sold for, I'm going to go for this one right now, $169.18. Let's see what this is. There was 5 bids. I can't even read that. Streamer of fire engine puzzle. So interesting. Springfield, Mass. That's only about 30 minutes away from where I live right now. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at some of the pictures. Wow. Why is it selling for so much? I have no clue. I have no clue why this is selling for so much, but it sold for $169 and another one sold as well. You were bidding on a vintage puzzle, a blown up steamer, a fire engine. It is a fantastic vintage puzzle, complete with all pieces and original box with picture. It is in great vintage condition. Milton Bradley, Springfield, Massachusetts. So there you go. There's an item to be on the lookout for. Will you ever find it? I don't know. But if you do, send me a commission. I'm just kidding. Here's a 1965 James Bond Thunderball jigsaw puzzle that sold for $124.99. 1965, 75, 85, 95, 05, 15. This is 51 years old. Holy mackerel, guys. Imagine walking into a thrift store and finding a 51-year-old jigsaw puzzle. Thunderball Thunderball by James Bond. I mean, this is cool right here. Springfield, Massachusetts. So I keep seeing that town. So I'm not sure if that's where all these puzzles were made or if it was founded. Maybe the company was founded in Springfield, Massachusetts. But that's pretty cool right there. From Milton Bradley in 1965, here's the James Bond 007 Thunderball Jigsaw Puzzle. Over 600 interlocking pieces. When completed, measures 14 by 24 inches. It is complete in a sealed box. Box is very nice with no dents or damage. Bright graphics and hard to find this, no reserve. So if you're finding any of these old items, the more completed it is in the better condition, the more money you're going to get, right? So this kills me right here. You see that? You see, look at this, 69. You want to know what? I bet you this guy right here purchased this from a thrift store for 69 cents. And I guarantee you this is from the Salvation Army because they always write in that stupid crayon and they ruin everything. How would you like to buy something for 69 cents and sell it for $124.99? Anyways, let's see. I bet you this is a reseller right here. I'm gonna dive into their store real quick and do a little spy action. Oh, this is definitely a reseller. I can already tell. But that's cool. 69 cents they paid for that. Check out this stuff. They're selling some cool stuff. Anyways, moving on. Let's see what's going on in the YouTube section. Bonafide Hustler says a vegan god. Bonafide, I got to talk to you because I did something the other day. I can't tell anybody live right now, but I did something. That's all I can say. And I'll give you a hint. Egg white. Anyways, let's see. Seems like off logic because you have to make an eBay listing with photos. 2 for the one-offs. Yeah. I mean, I guess you have a good point there, Steven, as well. I mean, either way, it's going to take your time. So, yeah, that is a good point right there. Jason T. Smith says you can sell porn. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I know Jason's into selling bras. So, anyways, no, but that's good to know. Certain things, yes, like in and out hats. Hey everyone, I do like puzzles, but these days only go for new and sealed ones. So Tom is saying only go for new and sealed ones. I wouldn't take, what I'm trying to say is don't only go for new and sealed ones. I'd say 90 to 95% of the puzzles you want to buy are probably going to be new. But again, guys, don't only buy them. If you find, like that 007 from 1965, I mean, don't pass on that. But, Tom does have a good point. Most of the puzzles that are going to make you the most money and the most common you're going to find that are worth your time and have the margins are going to be new there. So thanks for sharing that, Tom. I agree. Brother says I heard recently that UGG boots are now restricted on eBay. Interesting. Picking for Profit says puzzles of city scares do really well too. Angela is saying, hey Jason Smith, love your show. Jason T. Smith does have an awesome show. So if you see him in the comments, click on his name and subscribe to his channel. It looks like he has over 4,000 subscribers now. So congrats on all the success. And I've actually been on his show before, and he puts a lot of work and effort and creativity into creating the shows. So definitely check that out. Ultimate Coupon Lady says, I'm just watching live and don't know if this has been answered yet. Question: don't puzzles sell for more on Amazon? Let's do an experiment right here. Where's that puzzle? Okay, let's see if there's any. Let's see what sells for more. So the Fitness Center Talking Jigsaw Puzzle sold for $69.99 on eBay. Let's go to Amazon and see if it sold for more, if there's a listing created. Okay, so here's a listing created. Let's see. Let's go for the lowest ranked one. Okay, so 400,000 ranks. So it's not selling often. FBA is coming in at $99. Now, if a customer came in, they probably would pay the 99 over the 60 for an FBA because a lot of people just don't like purchasing through merchants because number one, customer service and returns is a pain in the butt. Number two, people want items. When they order an item, they want it yesterday. Point being, they want fast shipping. And with Prime, everything's at the warehouses and Amazon ships it out within 2 days or less. You could pay more to get it within 1 day typically. So this 99 bucks, I would say they can get that. I really do. Let's take, let's go into the, product description, and let's go find the ASIN number. Let's go over to camel.com and see what the price history has been on this for Amazon, if there's enough data. So holy crap. So it's hard to see. Let me go with the last year. So it looks like this was up at $500 for a while. I don't know if somebody just priced it up there accidentally or what. Again, from my understanding, this is just sales history. It's not like what it actually sold for. So I would say average is probably between $50 or $60. So typically, I think you can get more money on Amazon. From my experience, when it comes to media, books, board games, puzzles, things of that nature, I tend to get 20 to 30% more on Amazon, but it really depends. If it's a really hot, rare, hard to come across collectible item, I think you could do just as well on eBay. The only difference being you're going to have to deal with customer service. You're going to have to take all the pictures. You're going to have to ship it, do all that stuff that I don't want to do. So, if that is your business and you enjoy doing that and that's what you like to do, that's fine. But I found that I've typically, made more money on Amazon versus eBay. But feel free to let me know in the comment section, guys, from your experience, have you found to make more money on Amazon versus eBay? Tom says, I've had issues with the Ralph Lauren polos before. Completion reporting each other. I know this is off topic, but I really can't find the info. How do I get approved for lenses, DVDs, and most other items on FBA? I just started last week. If you actually go into Google and just type in, Amazon approvals or get approved in categories on Amazon, maybe DVDs approved, Amazon FBA, they have guides there. They have reports that will share with you how to do it. Personally, I've been grandfathered into DVDs. I know for groceries, if you want to get approved for groceries, you typically have to buy from like a wholesaler and provide them with certain invoices, but that's a whole science in itself. Really, it is, because they're changing the rules so often in terms of how to get approved. You need to know specifically how to answer the questions, how to get the right receipts, to buy from approved manufacturers or wholesalers. So I wish I could help you. Maybe someone in here can give you a better, more definitive answer than I can. There is an adult private category on Facebook. I sold a book on sexual positions once, found it, and The Joy of Sex at Goodwill Outlet for $1.99 and sold it for $79. Thrift School says, damn, son. What's going on, Thrift School? Got another fellow Connecticut. Brian says, that's crazy. Is it Quaylin? I believe that's your name is pronounced. Okay, so Ultimate Coupon Lady saying Camel is actually sales history, what it sold for, not just pricing history. I'd like to, I appreciate your input. I'd like someone to agree or disagree with that statement as well. I always thought it was price history. I didn't know that's what it sold for. So I'd like to hear what folks have to say on that. I'm sure you're right. I just want to know what other people have to say about that as well. Tom says board games are awesome, new and sealed. Yeah, guys, if you go to YouTube and type in Raiken Profit board games, you'll be able to see a whole live show that I did on that as well. So if you want to be able to learn more about board games, but I think that's about it for this live show, guys. I wanted to keep things sweet and simple and short, right to the point. And again, it's not about these specific items. Really, the major message I'm trying to get across to you guys during this live broadcast is there's money to be made when it comes to selling puzzles. As you saw firsthand, there's used ones that are doing well. There's new ones that are doing really well. Puzzles are selling on eBay. They're selling on Amazon. There's a market for puzzles. People are looking to consume and purchase puzzles. So really, what you're getting paid for as a reseller is the service that you're providing. And when it comes to puzzles, the service you're providing is you're able to find these puzzles for them and sell it to them at a good price. So that's what you got to do. You got to go out to thrift stores. You got to go out to garage sales, maybe retail stores. Things are getting clearanced off, flea markets, OfferUp, Craigslist, maybe even at an antique mall. You can find a good deal. But you've got to find these items undervalued and bring them to the market. And that's the only way you're going to make the money. You've got to bring it to the market. I know so many times, myself included, we fall into the trap of just buying. It's like we're on a high. We get that rush, the adrenaline rush of, hitting the thrift stores, Saturday morning garage sales and buying everything. But really, you're getting paid for the service that you're providing, and you're bringing products to the market. That's the only reason why you're getting paid. You're bringing products to the market, and there's a need, and there's margins there for you. You're able to find it undervalued. So go out there, guys, make it happen. Go hit up the thrift stores, go hit up the garage sales, go hit up all these different locations and source these products, bring them to the market, give your customers a good deal, and maybe eventually you can quit your job, or you can just earn enough money to supplement your income, or maybe you'll just make enough money to have more freedom in your life. You know, that's why I do it. I'd be curious, why do you guys resell? I do it for the freedom. I love the freedom. I also love just the treasure hunt, and going out and being able to bond with my mother. My mother and I, we just literally about an hour and a half ago, we went to a Savers. And she gave me a call, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, I'm going to get my car washed." And she goes, "I'm on my way to Savers." And I said, "All right, I'm 5 minutes away." So we met up at Savers a little while ago, and we each found 10 books. Each found about 10 books to resell on Amazon FBA. And after all said and done, I'll probably make $150 profit. I think she'll probably do maybe a little better than me, because she found some like really big $40, $50 profit textbooks. So, you know, I love the freedom. I love being able to bond with my mother. I love being able to learn and help others on YouTube, within the green room, you know, friends and family that are around me that are resellers, and you know, just all the above. It's really a lot of fun. So I wish you guys the best. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. For everyone who joined from the green room email list, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. If you guys want to learn more, be sure to join the green room over at greenroomuniversity.com. You can check it out to see if it's a fit for you. But until next time, guys, smash that like button. See you in the next video. Have a spectacular day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.